Feeling. Imagine risking your life just to read a book. That's the world of reading Lolita in Tehran. Feeling. A film that dives deep into the explosive intersection of literature, hope, and defiance right in the center of revolutionary Iran. Feeling. If you've ever wondered how words could be weapons and how novels could feel dangerous, this movie grabs you from the first scene and refuses to let go. Feeling. Today, we're breaking down the story, the twists, and what the ending really means for Nafisi and her students. Feeling. Let's unravel every hidden chapter together. So we open in Tehran, 1979. The Iranian Revolution is unfolding. Feeling, and the air is thick with both anticipation and fear. People are returning to their homeland, feeling, hoping for a new era, but soon realizing that expectations and reality violently collide. One of those returning is Azar Nafisi, feeling, an English professor and the real-life author whose memoir inspired the film. When she steps into post-revolution Tehran, a swirl of protests, slogans, feeling, and a rapidly tightening grip of the Islamist regime surrounds her. Universities transform overnight, books are banned, freedom shrinks, feeling and paranoia becomes a daily companion. Through this chaos, Nafisi's love for literature isn't just personal, it's rebellious. Feeling, she risks everything by gathering 7 courageous female students to her home, providing a secret oasis buried deep in the city's heart. Feeling, imagine sneaking through back alleys, covered head to toe, just for a hidden literary gathering. That's their reality. The group meets to discuss forbidden Western classics 6, The Great Gatsby, Lolita, Daisy Miller, Pride and Prejudice. Each novel's themes, longing, feeling, injustice, love, and questioning authority, reflect the struggles the women face outside Nafisi's apartment. For these women, feeling, literature isn't just a distraction, it's lifeline, hope, and resistance. The movie is structured like a book itself, divided into 4 main chapters. Each part parallels the themes and events of the novel they're reading and the realities on Tehran streets. Part 1 kicks off with Gatsby, but instead of glitz and glamour, the group is surrounded by a chorus of "Death to Americas." The regime is aggressively anti-Western, feeling. Gatsby and Fitzgerald represent everything forbidden. Nafisi faces relentless pressure at her university. Students chant, feeling. Authority figures demand ideological loyalty, and one especially radical colleague, Samad, embodies the new regime's zeal. Feeling. Nafisi's classroom becomes battleground, but she refuses to give in even as accusations fly. She's labeled immoral, feeling, even called names in graffiti, the adulterous whore Nafisi, and fears the notorious Evan prison, infamous for political executions. Feeling, we see first-hand how simply reading or teaching dangerous literature could mark someone for persecution. Part 2 jumps 15 years into the future. Lolita, the story's tone shifts. Now, we see the bitter fruits of revolution. Sanaz, feeling, one of Nafisi's students, is forced on camera to confess she's had an illegal relationship and broken both Islamic law and her family's honor. Feeling, the pain is palpable. She's shamed, bullied, forced to renounce her reputation. Here, Lolita's story, about a girl controlled and exploited, mirrors what women endure under the regime. Suddenly, feeling, the personal tragedies of the group become testimony for how daily existence in Iran is policed and violated. Feeling, Part 3, Daisy Miller plunges us into martyrdom and fevered faith. The mantra Hussein, Hussein, our slogan, reverberates, showing how young people are now swept into religious zeal and war. Nafisi watches as the regime's grip grows tighter. Reluctantly, feeling, she submits her resignation letter to the university despite believing that teaching English was once her calling. Feeling, her resignation is heartbreaking. She's sacrificing her public role and passion to protect herself and her students. Feeling, the tension here is intense. Literature is no longer just forbidden, it's dangerous to even be associated with Western ideas. Finally, Part 4 echoes Pride and Prejudice, focusing on love, femininity, and longing, but it isn't a Jane Austen romance. Instead, the women dance, sing, feeling, and talk about their hopes in relative privacy, clinging to every moment of freedom. The outside world is filled with war, references to the Iran-Iraq conflict spill in, and the regime ramps up censorship, propaganda, and control. Still, feeling, Nafisi's apartment remains an island of truth and beauty. The group discusses the Thousand and One Nights, and we see literature as survival. The act of telling stories keeps them alive, just like Scheherazade in the ancient tales. Feeling. The plot doesn't hinge on physical actions so much as emotional and intellectual tension. Every time the women talk about their dreams, feeling, or analyze a book's theme, they directly challenge the regime's rules. Close friendships form, feeling, sometimes tested by fear and betrayal. One slip could mean death or disgrace. The group's bond becomes family, feeling, with love letters and whispered confessions passing between the women and their teacher. The emotional weight comes from what's unsaid to feeling. Glimpses of children at school, moments of peace, and even simple calls home are loaded with uncertainty and risk. As the story sweeps toward its ending, feeling, there's no grand revolution. Instead, change comes through quiet defiance and heartbreaking decisions. Nafisi, after years of resistance, feeling, must admit defeat on the surface. She resigns, no longer able to safely teach at the university. But even as she steps back, feeling, the impact she's made on her students remains. Her apartment, filled with laughter and sorrow, stands as a monument to courage. Feeling, through her literary sessions, she's given these young women a voice, one they carry with them into their uncertain futures. Feeling, the ending is both poignant and subdued. Nafisi leaves behind her position, but not her purpose. Feeling, the literary gatherings have made an irreversible imprint on her students. Reading, questioning, and dreaming have become their tools for survival. As war rages and the regime solidifies, the group knows they risk everything with every book they read. But through literature, feeling, they've already built a world no one can seize from them. Reading Lolita in Tehran is a tribute to the unbreakable spirit of women who fight oppression, not with guns, but with words, ideas, and community. The film's visuals, recreated in Rome but layered with emotion, feeling, transport us into a Tehran both beautiful and terrifying. More than a memoir, it's a call to action, a reminder that resistance doesn't always roar. Feeling, sometimes it whispers between the pages of a forbidden book. Even after the credits roll, the story lingers. Nafisi and her students never stop yearning for freedom, proving that in the darkest places, stories and friendship remain the brightest weapons. Feeling, this film leaves you asking, what would you risk for the chance to imagine a different life? If you found this recap insightful or moving, feeling, let your voice be heard. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How did the story make you feel? What book would you risk everything to read? You feeling. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into powerful stories from across the globe.